A young man stands in front of Joshua trees. Words on screen. Vincent Culliver, Outdoor Outreach Instructor.
If you missed our previous video, First Day in Joshua Tree, start there. And you can find the link in our description below. In today's video, our wonderful guide, Ranger Christian, will share with us the various desert creatures, cacti, and geology that inhabit this beautiful place. Join me, Vincent, and our team.
3 shots showing instructors climbing and rappelling. Words on screen. Abby Aguilar, Sunny Chang, and Alaire Ta, Outdoor Outreach Instructors.
Abby, Sunny, and Alaire on our day 2 of camping in this beautiful national park. Let's go!
Montage of driving into the park and people climbing, camping, and enjoying themselves. Montage of rock piles, Joshua trees, and desert landscapes. Sunset over a forest of Joshua trees. Words on screen. Ways to enjoy Joshua tree. Instructors securing and putting away camping equipment.
Before we leave for the day, our instructors securely pack up all food and anything with a smell that would attract animals. The last thing you want is to come back at the end of the day to your items torn up, strewn around, and not to mention, it's pretty bad for the wildlife. We also keep an eye out for items that may fly away or be damaged by the intense desert sun.
Joshua tree landscapes. A park ranger greets the group and converses with them.
Today, we are lucky to have Ranger Christian show us one of his favorite hikes in Joshua Tree. Christian has been an interpretive ranger here for 9 years and has supported Outdoor Outreach in delivering educational information to our students. Outdoor Outreach has introduced over 1,500 youth to Joshua Tree through our overnight climbing programs.
Christian stands in front of desert plants in his ranger uniform.
Interpretive ranger here at Joshua Tree National Park. I've been working here for almost 9 years, and I'm glad that everybody's here, and we are in the perfect place to talk geology, so I hope you're ready to learn.
Pan across granite boulders, then cut back to Christian.
Okay, so we're in a spot in the park, inside Joshua Tree National Park, called the Wonderland of Rocks, and like I said, it's a really great place to learn about rocks, and one of the most popular questions is from park visitors is like, how did these rocks get here, and why do they look the way they do?
Several shots of Joshua Tree's unique piles of rounded granitic boulders.
You know, basically they are cooled magma. They're intrusive igneous rocks. Intrusive, meaning that they rose up from very deep underground and intruded into the crust above them and then stopped and cooled. And also igneous, because igneous in Latin means born of fire. So these rocks are magma that cooled and solidified into Monzo granite very, very deep underground.
Christian walks over towards a green shrub.
This is called creosote. That's the common name for this species. It's
Words appear on screen.
Laurea tridentana is the scientific name. I love that name. This is my favorite plant in the park.
Close-ups of creosote bush, showing tiny green and brown leaves and small furry seed pods.
And it's really overlooked by a lot of park visitors because there's so much of it. People also refer to this as desert rain plant because when it rains, that unique smell you smell like before and during a rainstorm comes from this plant. And you can smell it even when it's not raining if you just take like a big clump of it.
Christian gathers a handful of the plant in his hands and breathes on it, then smells it.
And kind of bundle it up and breathe like some hot breath on it. And then stick your nose in there. Native Americans also use this plant for a lot of different, I've heard it referred to as Native American penicillin because it was so important to the native people that lived here in what is today Joshua Tree National Park.
Words on screen. Joshua Tree National Park sits on traditional Serrano, Cahuilla, Mojave, and Chemehuevi land. Cut back to Ranger Christian.
The namesake of this park is the Joshua Tree. Its scientific name is Yucca brevifolia.
Words appear on screen.
The average lifespan of a Joshua tree is about 150 years, which is not long for a plant. They can live up to 300 to 400 years. There's some evidence of that in like very rare cases, but the majority of Joshua trees, probably their lifespan is around 150 years.
Series of shots of Ranger Christian and another ranger chatting with the group, then Christian waving goodbye and getting in his car.
You may come across Ranger Christian or another ranger during your visit. Stop and say hi. They are happy to share their passion for this beautiful place with anyone who has interest.
At the end of our hike, we say bye to Ranger Christian as he heads off to Keys View for an educational program.
Wide shots of the outdoor outreach van driving through the park. Series of shots of students and instructors rock climbing, rappelling, belaying one another, and learning climbing techniques.
Another popular activity you may see out in Joshua Tree is rock climbing. Rock climbing is a sport that folks of various ages and abilities may enjoy. At Outdoor Outreach, our youth participants gain a sense of trust, self-confidence, and teamwork during our rock climbing overnights in Joshua Tree. However, safety and proper precautions must be taken into account when engaging in this activity. Outdoor Outreach staff are trained under AMGA, American Mountain Guide Association guidelines, and SBI certified rock instructor is always in attendance when we're on climbing outings. If you're interested in rock climbing, please look into classes and lessons in your area. Do not rely solely on YouTube videos or untrained friends, as they may not know all the processes involved in keeping you safe.
Series of shots of instructors walking up to a climb and one standing atop the climb throwing a rope down.
This morning, we arrive at our climb site where Sunny, our senior instructor, is throwing down the rope for a layer to prepare the climb. Here's Abby giving a belay lesson.
Abby stands next to a student, instructing him while he practices belay technique.
Pull, lock, down, hand goes under, slide, and then back. Alright? And then you just repeat the process is the pull, lock, under, and then slide. Yeah? And that's the plus belay method.
Vincent starts up a climb.
For many who are not familiar with this sport, rock climbing may appear to be dangerous. However, as long as proper training, correct practices, and systems are followed, it can be a well-managed activity. As a curious spectator, please be mindful
Shots
of
of
the
Abby
precautions.
and Vincent
While
working
most
with
climbers
students
are
at the
happy
base
to
of the
share their
climb.
passion of climbing, know that their concentration needs to be on keeping the climber safe, so approach with caution. The belayer may not be able to interact with you.
A bystander walks up to the group climbing. One of the instructors goes over to chat, leaving the belayer to focus on the climber.
If another person in the group is available, engage with them. Know that it is hazardous to stand underneath the climber without a helmet. On our programs, we establish a helmet zone, which is within 30 feet from the climbing wall,
Words appear on screen, and arrows point to each participant's helmet.
or anywhere there is potential a loose rock or falling item may endanger anyone below. Lastly, please be mindful of your voice level. It is very important around climbing areas that the communication between the climber and belayer is clear and easily heard.
The belayer takes up slack in the rope to catch the climber's fall.
Gotcha!
Loud talking and or music may be distracting and take away from critical information needed to manage risk.
The outdoor outreach van drives through the park landscape. Park landscape from a moving car. Students scramble over rocks and look through binoculars.
Besides hiking and rock climbing, there are several other activities to enjoy. Wildlife watching,
Series of shots of park wildlife. Bighorn sheep, quail, and iguanas.
geology, exploring old mines, or just plain scrambling over rocks are all fun things to do while discovering Joshua Tree.
Park signs showing air quality and fire danger.
With that said, always follow park rules and regulations and be cautious.
Close-ups of cholla cactus and a snake flicking its tongue.
This is a harsh desert environment where the plants may poke, animals can bite, and walking off the trail may lead to getting lost out in the vast wilderness.
Shots of park landscape.
Use good judgment and practice LNT principles.
Words appear on screen. Visitor beta. Leave no trace principles. 1. Plan ahead and prepare. 2. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. 3. Dispose of waste properly. 4. Leave what you find. 5. Minimize campfire impact. 6. Respect wildlife. 7. Be considerate of other visitors.
After a long, fun-filled day, we come back to our campsite to rest and have dinner.
The group returns to the campsite and sits down in their chairs.
Because of our diligent pack-up in the morning, our items are still secure and unaffected by the desert wildlife or weather conditions.
Cut back to Vincent standing next to a granite boulder.
Well, everyone, this has been a wonderful experience, sharing a little of what we do on our outings in Joshua Tree and the activities you can enjoy during your stay here. Stay tuned for our third and final video of this series, Future Opportunities, how to get involved in the National Park System or start your path working in the outdoors. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Credits. This project was made possible by a funding award from the National Park Service and Outdoor Foundation.